Welcome back. This is the video we talked about last time, explaining what we have bought for Scotland. So it's the first video of our Scotland series for you. We'll complete the rest obviously after we've returned from Scotland, so that will be later this year in a few months.
So some of you may be asking, why did we go to the bother of getting special clothes for this trip? Well, as we were preparing for this trip and making plans, I reached out for some advice from fellow travelers as well as Scotland locals. The majority of the advice I got back was to plan for changing weather that changes frequently from hot to cold to dry to rainy, as well as the fact that you should be wearing layers, which is good advice in changing weather. And also the fact that Scotland tends to be rainier than most of the areas here in the United States, except for a few parts. Because of the fact that this is possibly a once-in-a-lifetime trip, we want to be able to see everything that we're going to see and not worry about the weather. So we're going to be out in all kinds of weather. It makes sense to wear clothes that are prepared for whatever case you have. So what did we get for our trip?
So one thing I got, because if I keep my head and my hands warm, I generally am warm along with my feet. So I got some good gloves that I have a tendency to lose gloves, so I didn't want to bank on my one pair, so that I would be sure to have some here at home still if I did happen to lose these. So got a new pair of gloves, and then also just a headband ear warmer kind of thing to make it easier to pack, and also to make sure I had it on hand if I need it. I might not need it, but if I do, then I have it.
And as you can see, I didn't get myself a hat or gloves. I tend to go without gloves most of the time in the winter, and occasionally I wear a hat if it's really cold. But I don't think I'll have a problem because of the time of the year that we're going to be going.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And it would just be if it were a really rainy day. Mm-hmm. But my hands do tend to get cold, so I wear gloves probably longer than most people in the winter. So to be dressing in layers, we bought leggings to wear underneath pants if it's a rainy day. If it's not a rainy day, we probably won't need these, but if it is a rainy day where we might get wet, just that gives us a protective layer between us and the pants, so that if our pants get wet, we still have another layer to help us stay warm and dry.
Well, hopefully the pants won't get wet because they're water resistant. What kind of leggings did you get?
The leggings I got are full soft fleece lined leggings with pockets. And there's something that I would be able to wear, at home. I don't wear leggings a lot, but for pajamas or something like that, so they aren't like specifically only for this trip. They'd be useful other times, because I wouldn't waste money to buy something just for a trip.
I don't normally wear leggings. I might wear long underwear.
Yeah, I have long underwear, but they're fleece, and I didn't know how good they would be for the time of year we're going. These will be better for the time of year we're going, I feel like.
For myself, I wasn't exactly sure what kind of leggings to get. I don't normally wear leggings that often. I wear long underwear occasionally in the winter.
Do wear leggings really,
but I wanted to make sure that I had something underneath the light water-resistant pants that I bought to take with us, so that I had some layers I could change if I needed to. So I got several different kinds just to try things out and see which I like best and what will work best for me. One of the things I've got is a thermal fleece-lined athletic base layer legging. It's kind of like biker pants, just long legs. Another one that's similar to that, only it's supposed to be a little bit warmer, is a pair from the brand 32 Degrees. And those are lightweight base layer leggings. I also got the good old cotton waffle long underwear leggings, because if it's a cold day and it's not raining, I can wear those underneath the pants as well. If it's raining, obviously I'm not going to wear cotton because that'll soak up any kind of moisture, and then I'll have a miserable day with wet pants, and I don't want to do that. Obviously, on good sunny weather, we're probably going to have a pair or two of jeans.
Yeah.
We can go out in jeans and not worry about it unless we really know it's going to rain that day. But
we are just planning regular clothing also for days that are nice, and
yeah.
But if it's windy or rainy, then you want something.
If we know we're going to be away from someplace where we can't change real quick, we'll probably wear our special clothes that we bought and wear layers.
Yeah, if we think so, we need them. So then for pants, I bought, they're more like hiking pants, water resistant, quick dry cargo pants, lightweight hiking pants. So they'll just keep the water away more and not probably have to worry about cold so much, as long as it keeps the water off of you with the time of year. It's not going to be super cold unless it's a windy day, I guess it could be colder, but we are used to cold weather, so it shouldn't really bother us too much. But
we both
cold and wet is different from cold.
We both lived our whole lives in New York State,
Yeah.
and we've been in cold temperature.
Right.
So we're used to cold
Right.
temps.
It's being wet when you're a little chilly is what would be the problem.
Yeah.
So.
So water resistant pants.
Yep.
And leggings underneath if we need to.
Yep. And so that, and then with jeans for days that we don't need to worry about wet.
Now for myself, obviously I went ahead and got some water resistant pants as well. Lightweight, multiple pockets, so that we can carry stuff as we're hiking around. But I also looked for something that came in an easy packable pouch. And so I got 3 pairs of these. And these are from the company, and I don't know how to pronounce it, L-I-I-N, at least I think I'm pronouncing it. No, it's L-I-N-L-O-N, hiking pants for men, outdoor, quick dry, lightweight. And I got several different colors because I don't want to wear the same color every single day for 14 days. So I got olive drab, gray, and I got black. So they come in these nice little easy packing pouches. So they should come in handy.
That they are not going to pack back into on the way home after they've been worn.
Obviously won't, but I'm going to make sure I try to get them back in those same pouches. But I can take a pair of these along, even if I'm wearing jeans, and I'll have this in the car. And so it'll be easy to, for some place where I can run back quick, I can grab these and put them on.
For shirts, I really didn't buy anything yet. I'm still contemplating whether I should or not. Dale thinks I should. I'm not so sure that's going to be an issue. So I'm still considering whether I want to do that or not.
For myself, I don't really think it's going to be an issue either, but I figured just to be safe, and since I needed some long sleeve shirts anyway that don't have some print on the front of them, because I've got a lot of those, I figured I might as well go ahead and get something that will be something I can wear for layers, but it's also a long sleeve shirt that I could wear back here at home. So what I did is I got several different colors of these Jersey long sleeve t-shirts, and these are Jersey's Men's Dry Power Cotton Blend Long Sleeve Tee, Moisture Wicking and Odor Protection.
So I don't have to worry about him smelling while we're gone.
And I got dark gray, light gray, navy blue, and red. So I'll have a choice of colors while we're there.
And then probably for me the most important thing is having a good raincoat. And I had one that I thought I would just use, and Dale thought I should get a better one that's specifically a raincoat. I had like an outer shell to my winter coat and figured that was good enough, but he thought I should have an actual raincoat. So I bought this one, which I'll use anyway at home just because it rains here too. You need a raincoat sometimes. So this is Women's Light Rain Jacket Waterproof. Obviously, if it's a raincoat, it should be waterproof. Tend to like blue, and navy blue pretty much won't clash with anything majorly. So that's what I got.
I don't have a raincoat here at home. And in fact, it's been a rare occasion when I've owned a raincoat in my entire life. I usually just go out in the weather and whatever I've got on. But I don't want to be going out because I'm going to be spending a long time outdoors if it happens to be rainy and I want to see something in Scotland. I'm not going to stay indoors and miss what I wanted to see. So I decided I better get a raincoat, a water resistant, waterproof raincoat to wear over top of the other layers that I'm wearing. And so I got, it's a royal blue, and I guess you pronounce this Marmot. M-A-R-M-A-T, or M-A-R-M-O-T, Marmot. And this is a Marmot Men's Precipitation Jacket, lightweight and waterproof. So I've got myself a rain jacket, and I guess I will wear it here at home as long as I've got it now, instead of just running. I might.
I don't see that happening.
Okay.
If it does, we'll vlog it, I guess, because I don't see that happening.
You might never see that vlog because I probably won't wear it. But
Exactly.
no, I might put this on occasionally depending on if I'm going to be out for any length of time and I know it's raining. Usually I just go out in whatever I've got on.
And last but not least, as far as things to wear, we bought some better hiking boots, shoes, since we'll be doing a lot of walking. And so I bought these. These are from Merrill. They're just your standard hiking shoes. That way our feet will be well protected if it is rainy, and also a little more sturdy shoes, since you'll be on your feet a lot walking around, much more than maybe we would be at home and on different terrain at times. So.
And I found myself a nice pair of Columbia hiking shoes. These were on sale when I got them, I believe.
I think everything was pretty much on
sale. We tried to get everything,
it.
most of it on sale. We don't overspend on the things we get, at least we try not to. We try to make our money go a little bit further. But this was a nice pair of Columbia hiking shoe that I found, and it was one of the ones that I think somebody else had recommended on one of the forums that I was on looking for advice. The main thing is we didn't want to wear just our regular sneakers, or I've got just regular leather shoes that I normally wear most days, because some of the places that we might be going is going to be somewhat rougher terrain, outdoors, rocks, walking through a field to get some places. It might be marshy in some places. So you want something that's a little more rugged and a little bit more water resistant. So a good hiking shoe with some tread. Also something that's going to be non-slip on wet surfaces. When we're in places like Edinburgh or Stirling or some places that's got cobblestone streets, if it happens to be raining, you don't want something that's going to slip on a wet stone surface. So good hiking shoe with some tread serves you in all purposes, whether it's out in the country or in the city.
And then the only other thing we really bought specifically for our trip is what are these called? Converters?
Power converter.
Power converters, because the electricity there is different than ours.
In the
so
US.
To be able to charge our phones or batteries
camera
for the
devices.
Camera, we would need something to do that. So we bought these to make sure
they'll come in handy. You can use those in more than just one country. So if we ever go someplace else, we'll be able to.
That's a big if.
I might go someplace by myself and she'll stay home.
That could happen. So that is what we have gathered for our trip, based on recommendations and considerations of weather and trying to also be economical. We have all this, and we look forward to our trip later this year.
And we'll let you know how things worked out, what was successful as far as clothing items, and what we thought worked well and what we thought didn't work well. So we'll let you know on all those.
So for our trip, Dale has planned all of it. I have not once planned a vacation. Since we got married, he does all the vacation planning, and because he does a good job, so why should I bother? I do the detailed stuff usually for when we go as a family. But
she's good at planning food and cooking arrangements and what we do.
Yeah, and more of the details like that. He has planned all of that pretty much for this also. So he has a route planned, and basically most of the things we're going to try and see he has planned. Because he had very specific things. I didn't really know what I wanted to see or didn't want to see in Scotland.
For me, this has been on my bucket list since I was a teenager, probably 14, 15 years old.
Right.
I wanted to go to Scotland, partially because my ancestors came from Scotland. I've got Scottish ancestry, and so I've always wanted to go and see where my ancestors came from. And so now we are finally getting the opportunity to do that, and that's one of the reasons why I want to make sure that I see all the things that I want to see.
Right.
Or as much as I can see. I won't be able to see everything I want to see, but within 2 weeks.
I went to Europe in high school, so I feel like this is his first time going overseas, so he should get to decide what he wants to see more than me, because I got to see a lot of things before in a couple different countries. So for me, just some of the palaces that are not ruins. I mean, the ruins will be interesting too, but for me, the ones that are redone and more like you can see how they were more is more interesting to me. So all the stuff in Edinburgh, I'm probably not saying that right, but all the stuff in Edinburgh that you see the palace and, walking the Royal Mile and those kind of things are interesting to me. Scone Palace was one I'm hoping we get to go to. We may not, depending on time.
I've already got tickets purchased, so we're going.
Well, then we're going.
That's one that she wanted to go to, and so I made sure that we got tickets for it. We're already planning on that.
But just seeing the villages and stuff where they're so different from what we have here in America will be interesting to me as well. So, and the scenery, of course.
A lot of history, a lot of older architecture. I like older architecture and history. We both like history. So while I'll enjoy going to the palaces, the finally restored palaces that Claudine mentions, those are her interests, I tend to lean more towards the ruins and a lot more history and what took place. and just seeing what's left. And some of the places that, I mean, they're ruins, but they're still, the majority of it is still standing. It just amazes me at how well things were built back then compared to the things that we build now that they fall to ruin within a short period of time and then are torn down because we aren't satisfied with how they're built, or they don't last. And yeah, hundreds of years ago, stone buildings without heavy machinery were put together, and they're still standing in a lot of places. But yeah, I like the ruins, and I'll enjoy the palaces with Claudine as well. But one of the reasons I'm going again is because I want to see places my ancestors were. I don't have any specific area that I know of because I haven't been able yet to trace back my family tree to pick out a particular spot where they might have come from. But I know our ancestors were in a lot of places in Scotland, and I know some of the places that were inhabited and built by my ancestors, or my clan, I should say, not specifically my ancestors, but my clan. And so we'll be going to those areas, and I'll be enjoying seeing the scenery, a lot of beautiful scenery in Scotland, the outdoors, I love that. And we'll also be taking a trip on a ferry out to an island and visiting some places, and one of them will be a special place because it's going to be Calgary Bay on the island of Mull. And in the past, and you've seen it in one of our videos that I mentioned a flashback, in fact we showed a whole flashback of when we were there, was when we went to Calgary with the quiz team that Claudine was coaching. 2010, I believe that year was. And so 14 years later, we're going to go to Calgary Bay in Scotland, which is one of the areas where that name Calgary came from. So it'll be kind of interesting. We've been in both Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and we'll be in Calgary Bay on Mull Island in Scotland. So I'll go ahead and give you our tentative route and give you an idea of a little bit of what the path is going to be on our trip. Won't give all the details because we aren't going to flesh out all those details, but just give you an idea of some of the things we're going to be seeing and what villages and towns we'll be going through. We'll show that right here. So as I said, this is our tentative route. Obviously we'll modify this and tweak it a little bit as we go, but we have accommodations already booked, planned along this route, and this is roughly what we're going to do. We're renting a car and spending 2 weeks on the road, traveling from place to place and seeing the things that we wanted to see and we got planned out. After landing in Edinburgh, we're going to travel north through Perth. This is where we're going to visit Scone Palace that Claudine wants to see. We're also going to go north up to Inverness and visit Culloden Battlefield, the place where the Jacobite army was defeated and Bonnie Prince Charlie was defeated. Although we don't believe in Nessie, we're going to be passing by Loch Ness and visiting some places along there in that area. We'll travel out to Dorney to visit the iconic Islandonan Castle, one of the most photographed castles in Scotland. Then from there, after coming down to the seaside village of Oban, we'll catch a ferry out to the island of Mull, where we'll visit the colorful town of Tobermory before driving over to Calgary Bay. The road from Tobermory to Calgary Bay is a two-way, single-lane road, so Claudine will need your prayers as we drive on that path. She's not looking forward to driving on single-lane roads with two-way traffic. Further into our trip, after we leave the area of Oban, we'll be coming down to Inverary and visit Inverary Castle, home of the Duke of Argyll. There's a number of things in this area that we'll be visiting, and you'll be able to see them when we share our footage after our return home. We'll also be making a stop in Stirling to visit Stirling Castle and the William Wallace National Monument. And of course, our trip would not be complete without stopping in Edinburgh to visit Edinburgh Castle, the Royal Mile, Greyfriars Bobby, St. Giles Cathedral, and so many other things in this historic city. I'll leave a few links down below in the description so you can see some of the places that I mentioned and some others that I didn't. There will be much more coming when we share our footage after our trip. We hope you enjoyed that look at our tentative trip, and we'll be showing footage from all along that route in the coming months after we get back. We still aren't going for quite a bit yet, so be patient and wait for those things as they're coming later this year.
Thanks once again for watching this vlog, and we look forward to sharing more with you this coming year, both our trip to Scotland and whatever else may come up that we vlog. And remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.
Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.